Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Committee of Adjustment. Just so you know that these hearings are broadcast on YouTube, so when you come up to the front, if you are making a presentation, please ensure that you speak clearly into the mic so it can be caught, because we hear comments that sometimes we can't be heard, even ourselves, so we have to get it away. So, in accordance with Section 45 and 53 of the Planning Act as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment is called to order. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for minor variances from the provisions of the zoning bylaw, permission to extend or alter lawful non-conforming uses, and consent to create new lots. To ensure a fair and timely hearing, I will vet the agenda to determine which applications can be dealt with immediately and which applications require more in-depth review. If there are people in interest to an application, the matter will be held to allow individuals who are here to speak to an application and the applicant or agent to have a discussion outside of the room prior to the committee considering it. If there are no persons of interest present, the committee, the agent or applicant will proceed with their presentation if required, and the committee may ask questions or take the matter into committee for a decision. Each speaker, including the applicant or agent, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. When addressing the committee, please come forward to the podium and clearly state your name and address, and file a decision request form, which are available on the back at the end of the horseshoe here. If anyone is here who is speaking to a matter, is an agent or applicant, or is just in interest and wants a copy of the committee's decision, you must fill out a decision request form. So I'll tell you that now. And please include your email address on that, because if this decision of the committee is appealed to TLAB, the Toronto Local Appeal Body, they communicate by email. So if you want to receive a copy of a decision on any matter, you have to fill out the decision request form. Thank you. If you have a written submission that you read from after you've finished, would you please hand it to a member of the staff on the right? It would be appreciated. So in terms of how the matters will proceed, the applicant or the agent will make a application to the a submission to the committee as on the application as submitted. Then if there are individuals either in support or opposed to the application, they'll be allowed to speak. So when your item comes up, if you are in opposition or support, when that item is called, we'd like you to sit along the left-hand side here. If there are several speakers to speak on the same item who share the same view, we'd appreciate it if it's possible if you could appoint a spokesperson to speak on behalf of the group. Although we want to hear from everyone, it's not necessary to state the same points over and over again. When all speakers are finished, the applicant has the opportunity to rebut only the related issues that were raised. At any time during the presentations, committee members may ask questions of those who are speaking. Once the applicant has a chance to rebut, the matter will be taken into committee, and this will mark the end of the discussion. And please remember to contain your remarks to the matters that are before the committee. If you do not agree with the decision that the committee makes today, you can file an appeal with the Toronto Local Appeal Body or TLAB. And if you need to get more information about that, TLAB has a website that you can link through the City of Toronto website, or you can also link to it through the Committee of Adjustment website. Appeal instructions to TLAB are contained on the bottom of the decision of the Committee of Adjustment. As I said, please make sure you fill out a decision request form for anyone who wants to receive a copy of a decision of the committee on a specific matter. Okay, so Madam, we're going to confirm the minutes from the last meeting. So, Madam members?
Through you, Madam Chair, I'll move adoption of the minutes.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? So the minutes are adopted. Okay, any declarations of interest?
No, Madam Chair.
No declarations of interest. Any files to be closed?
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, there are two. They're not scheduled for today. One was heard on January 30th and was deferred. It's for A0972/18 TEY 28 Bracken Avenue. The applicant is requesting that the application be withdrawn, and they would not be entitled to a refund under our refund policies. And then there is a second application that was scheduled for hearing next week. The notice has been issued, and it's for A0148/19 TEY, 177 Browning Avenue. Again, the applicants are no longer wanting to proceed with that application. We've issued the notice, so again, they would not be entitled to a refund either.
Okay. So panel members?
So moved without a refund.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, so those applications are closed.
There is another item on today's agenda, item 18, but I'm not sure if the applicants are here right now or if there's anyone in interest.
Is there anyone here for number 1868 Edgewood Avenue? Neighbors? Anyone in interest? Anyone here? Okay. Do we have a withdrawal for that?
Through you, Madam Chair, yes, they filed a letter late yesterday asking that the application be withdrawn. They understand they would not be entitled to a refund.
Okay. Committee members?
Through you, Madam Chair, I would move that the application be withdrawn with no fees, or no fee refunded.
Okay.
Fees.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay,
Thank you.
that application's closed. So just to note that the committee will not be entertaining extensive revisions to proposals at the hearing today. In those, if there are extensive revisions, the application may be deferred. So we are going to now vet the agenda. Item number 1, 505 Russell Hill Road, agent or applicant? Okay, thank you. Anyone in interest? Thank you. So we'll stand that matter down. If you can get together and have a discussion. Item number 2, 208 Bingham Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Item number 3, 85 Windermere Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Item number 4, 63 Pauline Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Okay. Item number 5, 182 Pape Avenue, agent or applicant? Anyone in interest? Item number 6, 207 Pickering Street, agent or applicant? Sorry, agent or applicant? Oh, 207 Pickering? You're the agent? You're the applicant? Okay. Anyone in interest? Okay, thank you. Number 7, 44 Thorncliffe Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Item number 8, 294 LINSMORE Crescent. Thank you, agent or applicant. Anyone in interest? Okay, so if you can have a discussion, please, outside the room. Item number 9, 50 WOODYCREST Avenue, agent or applicant?
Over there.
Thank you. Anyone in interest?
Yes.
Okay, so again, we'll hold that matter down. You can have a discussion outside. Item number 10, 31 Allen Avenue, agent or applicant?
Over there.
Thank you. Anyone in interest for 31 Allen?
Yes.
Okay, so that matter be held down. You can have a discussion. Item number 11, 9 HENDRICK Avenue, agent or applicant? Okay, anyone in interest? No? Okay. Item number 12, 23 Churchill Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Okay. Item number 13, 45 and a half ELLERBECK Street, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Okay. Item number 14, 356 GLENLAKE Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Number 15, 92 Hollywood Crescent, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Item number 16, 55 Hilton Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Item number 17, 30 Walker Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Item number 18, oh no, that's been withdrawn. Item number 19, 24 Humber Trail, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Okay. Number 20, 60 Seymour Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? 21, 17 Berkshire Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Number 22, 5 DEWBOURNE Avenue, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Okay. Number 23, 75 Kent Road, agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Number 24, 467 Brock Avenue. Thank you. Agent or applicant? Anyone in interest? Number 25, 30 Leeds Street. Agent or applicant? Thank you. Anyone in interest? Number 26, 42 FERMANAGH Avenue. I think I pronounced that properly. Agent or applicant? Okay. Anyone in interest? Okay. So the items being held are number 1, 505 Russell Hill Road, number 8, 294 LINSMORE Crescent, number 9, 50 WOODYCREST Avenue, number 10, 31 Allen Avenue. And those people, if they haven't already done so, please go outside and have a discussion, and we'll hear you after the uncontested items. So we'll start, 505 Russell. Yes, I'm sorry.
Item number 8, I don't think it should be held. I think the person who put up their hand is actually the owner of the property.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that's fine, so we won't hold that. Thank you. Okay. Item number 1, 505 Russell Hill Road.
It's held.
Oh, that's held, sorry. Number 2, 208 BINGHAM Avenue. So as the gentleman is getting settled, I'll just let you know what the committee has before it. Copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, email correspondence from the applicant, and 3 photographs of rear ancillary structure. Panel members, can we have your name and address, please?
Good morning. It's Jan, Teamster Architect.
Okay, thank you. Panel members, do you need a presentation, or would you like to proceed to questions?
I just have one question.
Okay.
It indicates that there's one ancillary structure. Is the other one, you don't need a variance for? You have 2?
No, there's actually, there's 2 variances, one for each one.
Okay.
Requirement, yeah, okay.
Thank you. That was my only question, Madam.
Okay. Any other questions?
No. I'd like to move approval of the application. I think it's quite minor and clearly meets the test for variance approval.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Your application's approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Number 3, 85 Windermere Avenue. Just as we get settled, the committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, covering letter from the agent, email correspondence from the assistant planner, community planning, city planning, Toronto and East York District, and a letter of opposition from the Swansea Area Ratepayers Association. Can we just have your name and address for the record, please, sir?
My name is Sean Galbraith. I'm a planner here on behalf of the applicant.
Okay. Panel members, do you need a presentation, or would you like to proceed with questions?
I don't either.
Okay. Any questions then?
Just to confirm, are any of the variances existing?
They're all existing.
Sure, yeah.
We're actually increasing the amount of soft landscaping from about 5% to 38%.
Okay.
That's around the perimeter, right?
Yeah, in the rear yard, which is currently all concrete.
Okay.
And can you tell me, is, the concern here was that there's so much paving in the backyard. Is that condition replicated on both properties on either side of you as well?
Pretty much there's a strip of these sort of small triplexes and apartments.
Yeah.
The rear yard is pretty much all parking and concrete.
Thank you.
Ours will be the anomaly by adding soft landscaping.
Thank you.
Okay, panel members, we're in committee, discussion or motion?
Through you, Madam Chair, I feel that these variances indeed meet the 4 tests, and I would move approval of the application.
Okay, all in favor? Your application's approved.
Thank you.
Number 4,
You, Madam Chair, just item number 4, yeah, Pauline. It is a semi-detached dwelling, and the variance, the purpose and the variance should just refer to semi-detached, not detached.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so the committee has before a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. Can we have your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Tyrrell Wong,
Okay.
and I'm the agent.
Okay, committee members, do you need a presentation or questions?
Madam Chairman, that was my only question, whether it was a semi or a single. Did my colleague have a question?
I don't.
I'd like to move approval of the application. I think it's relatively minor and clearly meets the 4 tests for variance.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Application's approved.
Thank you.
Item number 5, 182 Pape Avenue. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 14 photographs of third floor renovations, and surrounding properties, 6 form letters in support, signed by owners and occupants of 180, 184, 186 Pape Avenue, 7377, and 83 Boston Avenue. Can we have your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Sarush Kalustian, and the address is 182 Pape Avenue.
Thank you. Panel members, do you need a presentation or questions?
I know, Madam Chair.
I have one question. Can you confirm that the impact of the proposal isn't seen from the street, right? The pitched roof?
That's right, it's not.
Okay, in future, if you have this kind of an application, it's useful to have a front elevation to demonstrate that?
Sure.
That was my only question, Madam Chairman.
Okay, no other questions?
taken.
We're in committee then?
Through you, Madam Chair, there are multiple additions, so what's being requested is in keeping with what's in the neighborhood. Both adjacent neighbors are in support. I feel it meets the 4 tests. The variances are minor, and move approval of the application.
Do you have a seconder? Okay, all in favor? Your application is approved.
Thank you.
Item number 6, 207 Pickering Street. The committee has before it copy of a plan of survey, site plans, floor plans, and elevations, an an 8 signature petition in support signed by the owners and occupants of 189, 191, 205, 211, 214, 215 Pickering Street, and 170 Lawler Avenue. And can we have your name and address for the record, please, sir?
Rick Bongers, 75 Redwood Avenue.
Okay. Panel members, do you need presentation or questions?
I have one question. Is the front setback existing?
Yes, there's an existing ground floor enclosed porch.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to mention, the zoning notice referred to the front yard setback on the northwest corner at 1.32. But the southwest corner is actually less than that. I believe it's 1.28. So the decision, if we could have it applied to the drawings that were presented.
It is, you need to add it, you're asking for an additional variance?
Well, the zoning review referred to the existing front yard setback on the northwest corner, 1.32, but the southwest corner is actually a little bit even closer than that.
So you're saying it wasn't caught in the zoning review?
Yes. I would just like the decision tied to the drawings.
Variance, though.
It's less than what was advertised.
Is it?
Is it existing, the,
Yes, both corners are existing front corners of the home.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but it wasn't noted in the public notice. So it would be, so variance number 5 speaks to the west front lot line. So you're saying,
Yeah, it's 1.32 on the northwest corner at the front, but it's actually 1.28 on the southwest front corner. And both are existing conditions.
so in fact, the way this is worded is incorrect. It is 1 what is it, 1.28?
1.28 is the existing,
Property line, because that's the shorter of the two distances, right?
right.
so variance number 5 has to be amended? Or we need an additional variance? Sorry,
No, it's just an amendment to the variance for the front yard setback.
okay, so the description of it being from the west front lot line is what's incorrect?
No, it's the
Okay.
measurement. At one corner, it's 1.32.
Yes.
The other corner, it's 1.28.
So should it
So
not
at the
just say
closest
one?
point, it's
1.28.
1.28, not 1.3.
32?
So it's not parallel to the
Yeah.
front lot.
That's right.
Okay.
Can we make that change today?
Because it's in it,
Opposed to the 1.3.
sorry.
What is changing at the front wall? Is the second story addition going in line with the existing front wall?
Yes, exactly.
So the second story addition would also be 1.28?
Yes, that's correct. It'll match up with the existing front corner.
Because it's,
East.
Okay, so if we were considering this, what would we be doing? Amending
The fifth
variance
say
1.28?
1.28 from the west front lot line, and then I would add at the closest point, measured at the closest point.
Does that address what you're saying?
Yes.
Any members?
Well, since there's only one lot line, couldn't we just say from the front lot line? The-
The west refers to
The entire lot line.
Yeah, but, well, it seems to me that this is a very minor change, and you've brought it to our attention, and it's an existing condition. Even though it isn't in the notice, there has been no objection to the proposal at 1.3, well, the existing condition at 1.32, and there obviously isn't an objection to the existing condition at 1.28. So on that basis, Madam Chairman, I'd be prepared to move approval of the application without condition. I think on that basis, it does meet, in fact, the 4 tests, and is an existing condition. It's not something that would be a surprise to anyone in the neighborhood.
Okay, so I'll second that.
Okay. So all in favor? Okay, so the application as with that amendment is approved.
Thank you.
Item number 7, 44 Thorncliffe Avenue. Committee has before a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. And can we
Hi,
have your
good
name
morning.
and address for the record, please?
Yeah, Betsabe Salinas Moreno, 44 Thorncliffe Avenue.
Thank you. Okay, panel members, do you need a presentation or any
No.
questions?
I just want to confirm this relates to a window well? Is that
No,
correct?
this is for the parking, the
I'm sorry?
3 parking garage, the 3 parking spaces that needs to be in the backyard.
Okay, I read something somewhere about a window well.
There's 3 spaces. Are you adding?
Yes, it's an existing duplex, and I'm proposing to do a unit in the basement.
Yeah, I know that. Are you adding parking spaces? How many are there now?
Right now, 2, and I'm
1.
I'm on.
And the drawing isn't really very clear. The landscaping is along the east and the south property lines. Is that correct? It doesn't actually look like.
Yeah, it's because it's staggered.
As indicated in it doesn't look like 33% of the lot, but it's where those.
It is staggered. Looking on the north side, it would be.
The area that's not dotted, is that correct? The parking has got dots on it, and the other area is the landscaping, is that correct?
Where's your soft landscaping going to be in the back?
Yes, it is going to be all around, but it's going to be, because the parking spaces are staggered, there is an area in there that is still not part of it.
So are you talking then that this yellow is all soft landscaping?
Yes.
Okay, and
And the properties on either side, on your neighbors, are the rear yards fully landscaped?
Yes. Yeah, the one on the south side is, it is, and the one on, and actually the one on the left has a parking garage.
The one on the left?
The one on the north
There's a
side.
garage in the backyard of that property.
Yeah. An actual structure, a garage, a two-car garage.
And the other properties are buffered by your landscaping?
Yeah, the drawing could have been
It would
more
be,
clear, yeah. Okay, any other questions, panel members? Okay.
No, Madam Chairman,
yeah, sure.
I'd like to move approval of the application. At first, I was concerned about the compatibility with adjacent properties, but it appears that there is the opportunity with the landscape strips that are provided to buffer those properties that have green planted backyards. And the one immediately to the north shares paving and a garage, so I think it's compatible. I also believe that the variance, which is minor, conforms with the four tests, so I'd like to move approval.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Application's approved.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 8, 294 LINSMORE Crescent. It turns out that the other person was actually the applicant. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, previous decision of the committee affecting the subject property, and copy of approved front and south elevation drawings per the building permit. Can we have your name and address for the record, please?
Good morning, Ali Shakiri, 326 Shepherd Avenue East. As you can see, this is relating to a undersized garage, so we're asking for that one variance. And I have no further comments. If there is any question, I'd be more than...
Just to clarify, the house was built with a carport.
Yes.
And you've already enclosed the garage, so that it's existing. Why did you enclose?
Yes, the builder has enclosed the garage and provided the door width. So the current owners who purchased the house have actually purchased the house as is with that garage. And they were unaware of that thing, they like the house. So
they purchased it with a garage not knowing it was not in
yes, and they're present here too, yes.
And the only reason that you're here is because the space that's inside the garage, by virtue of the house being built, is smaller than the bylaw requires.
That's correct, sir, yes.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, in committee then?
Through you, Madam Chair, I believe these variances are minor and meet the four tests, so I'll move approval.
Okay, all in favor? Application is approved.
Thank you.
Item number 11, 9 Hendrick Avenue. Committee has before a copy of plan of survey, site plans, and floor plans, and 5 photographs of the subject property in lieu of elevation drawings. Your name and address, please, for the record.
Teresa Koreev, I'm the agent for the registered owners.
I have one question. The work's been completed. The photographs would tend to indicate that the work is completed.
Yes. It has.
Okay, so so you're here to have it approved after the fact. I don't think that this is in any way a major issue in the neighborhood or the community. I think it clearly meets the four tests and minor variance, and I would move approval of the application, Madam Chair.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Application is approved.
Thank
Item
you.
number 12, 23 Churchill Avenue. The committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, a previous decision of the Committee of Adjustment affecting the property, correspondence from the Assistant Planner, Community Planning, City Planning, Toronto and East York District, staff report from the Acting Supervisor, Tree Protection and Plan Review, Urban Forestry, and correspondence in support from 350 Ossington Avenue, 21 Churchill Avenue, and 26 Churchill Avenue. Give your name and address for the record, please.
Hi there. My name is Valerie Farrell, and I'm the agent for Alex Brott, the owner.
Okay, committee members, do you need a presentation or questions? Thank you. Any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. We're in committee.
Thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair, I would note that there was a previous approval for 1.03 FSI. I believe these variances are minor, meet the four tests, and I would move approval, including forestry number 2.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Application's approved with that condition. Oh, she did this. Yes, yes. Forestry, yes.
2, number 2.
Wow. Well, your application's been approved, subject to condition. Number 13, 45 and a half Ellerbeck Street. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, a previous decision of the committee affecting the subject property, correspondence and support or no opposition from 47 Ellerbeck Street. Could we have your name and address for the record, please?
Yeah, it's Brad Greenwood, and I'm one of the owners at 45 and a half Ellerbeck, and my wife, Rachel Poley.
All right. So, panel members, any questions?
No.
No questions?
Madam
Okay.
Chairman, this is extremely minor. Clearly meets the core test and poses no difficulties for the community. I'd like to move approval.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Your application's approved.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome. Item number 14, 356 GLENLAKE Avenue. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, email correspondent from the agent confirming survey accuracy, previous decision of the committee affecting the subject property, and a staff report from the acting supervisor, tree protection and plan review, urban forestry. And your name and address for the record, please.
Good morning. I'm Barry Goldman. I'm the architect and agent for the application.
Thank you.
Believe the variances are minor. I can make a presentation if you like.
So any questions, panel members?
No. Through you, Madam Chair, I believe variance number 1 is existing, and the second variance is minor, super minor, actually.
Super minor.
So I would move approval, as I feel it meets the 4 tests, including forestry condition number 1.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Your application's approved, subject to that condition.
Thank you.
The second decimal point, yeah. On item number 15, 92 Hollywood Crescent. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, and 4 form letters in support signed by the owners or occupants of 90, 94, 95 Hollywood Crescent and 76 Shandell Avenue. Could we have your name and address just for the record, please?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is David Smith. I'm here representing the homeowner at 92 Hollywood Crescent.
Thank you. Committee members, any questions?
No, Madam Chairman.
Okay,
I'd like to move
no
approval
questions
of-
then?
I'd like to move approval of the application. I note, I believe I'm correct, that this also has the support of the attached, semi-detached dwelling. I think it meets the 4 tests, and notwithstanding the fact that there are a number of variances, I do think that the proposal that's before us is in the public good.
Okay, thank you.
I agree, and I'll second.
Okay. Okay, all in favor? Application's approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 16, 55 Hilton Avenue. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. 2 previous decisions of the Committee of Adjustment affecting the subject property. Correspondence and support from 57 Hilton, and 3 form letters in support from 51 and 61 and 53 Hilton. Can we have your name and address for the record, please, sir?
My name is Bern Paisler, and my address is 130 Pond Drive.
Okay, committee members, do you need a presentation? Like to see any questions?
Through you, Madam Chair, if there are no questions, in this one, I would like to note as well that both adjacent neighbors are in support. I believe there's been a previous approval at .93, which is higher than what's being requested. I think the variances are minor. They apply to a dormer. So I would move approval, as I feel it meets the 4 tests and fits within the context of the neighborhood.
Second. Okay, all in favor? Your application's approved.
Thank you very much.
Number 17, 30 Walker Avenue. 30 Walker? Okay. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. A covering letter from the agent, correspondence and support from 35 Woodlawn Avenue West, 28 Walker Avenue, and 1 form letter in support from 32 Walker Avenue. Can we have your name and address for the record, please?
Sure. Peggy Chu, 124 Merton Street, Suite 505.
Thank you. Panel members, do you need a presentation or questions?
I have a question. On the, excuse me, the 3rd floor plan, there's a note on your drawings that says there's required roof deck on the 3rd floor. I can't read it completely.
That's right. It's a requirement of the building code.
How big is the deck? Is it, the drawings are not that clear. It looks in the 3rd floor plan as though it's just enough to walk out on. In another one, it looks like it runs along the entire back of the property.
So there is a flat roof, but we've only used a portion roughly about 3 feet by 4 feet.
So the section in front of the doorway,
That's right.
and that's a building code requirement.
That's right. So you're required to have egress.
I know that. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
That was my only question, Madam Chairman.
Okay, so on committee. Go.
If there are no other questions, Madam Chairman, I'd like to move approval of the application. This is a stunning building, and the addition is in the spirit of the original building. My only question was with the deck. I was not clear whether it was in fact across the full length of the building. It isn't. It's just basically a space to walk out on to meet the building code. I believe that this is in public interest, and I believe it meets the 4 tests for variance approval.
And I'll just note that both adjacent neighbors are in support,
Yes.
so I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Application's approved.
Thank you very much.
Number 19, 24 Humber Trail. Committee has before it a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, a previous decision of the committee affecting the subject property, covering letter from the agent, together with 14 photographs of the subject property and 50 Humber Trail rear facade addition, immediate study area analysis, evaluation of patterns of rear facades, aerial map demonstrating similar minor variance approvals in the immediate area, 27 form letters in support, and a shadow study. And the form letters in support are signed by the owners or occupants of 11, 12, 15, 17, 20, 21, 25, 27, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and 39 Humber Trail, and 68, 69, 71, 73, 74, and 75 Rivercrest Road, and 49, 50, 51, and 52 Wetherell Street. Can we have your name and address for the record, please, sir?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Eldon Theodore from MHBC Planning, agent for the owners.
Thank you. Panel members, do you need a presentation or any questions?
I have a question. Unless I'm missing something, notwithstanding all those letters of support, the two that are missing are the people on either side. Can you talk to us about any discussions you've had with them and whether or not they're opposed? They're not here, obviously, but they're conspicuously absent from the letters of support.
Yes, through you, Madam Chair. My clients have spoken to both owners to the north and to the south, and I do have copies of communication from those owners. While they are a little uncomfortable with the addition, they've confirmed that they would not object to the proposal. If you'd like, I can provide you with a copy of that communication.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
So as the first piece of communication is 22 Humber Trail, they didn't provide a formal response, but discussions with my clients who are sitting behind me confirmed that that resident, who's a senior lady, would not oppose the application.
22.
22 Humber Trail.
Goes to the chair.
Thank you.
That should be for 26.
Yeah, it's item number 19, sorry.
Yeah.
And just for clarity, that neighbor to 22 said, just do what's best for you, and that she's not going to object. And the resident 24 is the second page, confirming that they will not be opposing the application.
Okay.
My clients worked really hard to try and get the support of the neighborhood on this application.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, panel members?
No, Madam Chairman.
Okay.
My only concern was there an objection that we didn't know about? Clearly there isn't. There has been discussion. Congratulations for doing that. I believe that it's a very, it's a single variance application. I think it's legitimate and clearly meets the 4 tests for variance and results in a development that fits in with the neighborhood context. I'm pleased to move approval.
I'll second.
All in favor? The application is approved.
Thank you.
Number 20, 60 Seymour Avenue. Committee has before a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 3 form letters in support, 62 Seymour, 65 Condor, and 76 Shudell. And although we just saw you a minute ago, your name and address for the record, please.
Good morning again, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is David Smith. I'm here representing the homeowners at 60 Seymour Avenue.
Thank you.
Would you like a presentation?
Panel members, do you need a presentation? No? Any questions?
I have one question. I know we have 3 letters in support. One of them is number 62. Did you speak to the other adjacent?
We did certainly. Number 58 had simply asked whether or not we met the side yard setback requirements, which obviously there was no variance for, so we're completely in compliance. Beyond that,
There's no concerns from
no, and again, I have a copy of that correspondence if you'd like to see it. The homeowners did a great job trying to communicate with the neighborhood. There was just a bit of lack of response.
I mean, if you do have the correspondence, sure, it'd be great.
I figured that would be the only question.
Starting to anticipate this.
Yes, ESP.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to note that we're moving at breakneck speed, and part of that is
Thank you.
because the applicants to date have all done an excellent job in communicating and negotiating with the neighbors. It's pleasant to see, and it helps the meeting move along.
So any other questions on this, panel members?
No.
The Eve situation is a continuation of the existing.
You got it, exactly.
Right.
Okay, if we're in committee, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Then,
Yes,
through
we
you,
are.
Madam Chair, there are a lot of additions that are the same length as what's being proposed, and in some cases longer. So I think this application fits within the context of the neighborhood, meets the 4 tests, and I would move approval.
Okay, all in favor? Your application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Number 21, 17 Berkshire Avenue. Committee has before it copy plan of survey, site plan, floor plans and elevations, and email correspondence from the planner at Toronto Region Conservation Authority. So can we have your name and address for the record?
Yeah, good morning. 17 Berkshire Avenue, John Waterfall.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Panel members, any questions?
Yes, I don't understand this application. The purpose of the application is that you're enclosing a portion of the second floor to allow you more space on the third floor. Can you explain to me in layman's terms exactly what you're doing?
Sure, absolutely.
Is it the loggia area that's...
No, so it's actually enclosing a third floor space, second floor ceiling. There's a double height opening between second and third floor.
Okay.
So it's simply to enclose an open air space to give us
So
more.
the second floor is already enclosed, but you're putting a floor in.
That's right. Yeah, it's sort of open framing right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Putting a ceiling on the second floor.
correct, and a floor on the third. Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah.
80 square feet. It's quite minor.
Above the stairs, right?
Okay.
Above the kitchen is the best description, but yeah.
Okay, fine, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions? No. Okay. We're in committee. Discussion or motion?
Through you, Madam Chair, if my colleague has no more questions, then this variance is indeed minor, and I would move approval of the application.
Okay. All in favor? Your application is approved.
Thank you.
Number 22, 5 DEWBOURNE Avenue. Committee has before it copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. And can we just have your name and address for the
Lauren
record?
Rose, the architect.
Thank you.
You guys going for the world record here?
Okay. Committee members, any questions or do you need a presentation?
No, Madam Chair.
No questions.
Okay, any questions?
No.
No questions? Okay.
Madam
So we're
Chairman,
in
I
committee, motion?
I think this application is very straightforward. Notwithstanding the size of the building, the additions are relatively minor relative to the size of the building. They're virtually undetectable externally. I believe they clearly meet the 4 tests, and I am pleased to move approval of the application.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Your
Thank you.
application's approved. Number 23, 75 Kent Road. Committee has before it copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. And if we can have your name and address for the record, please.
Good morning. My name is Will Hudson of Hudson Architecture, the architect and agent for the owner.
Thank you. Committee members, do you need presentation or questions?
No questions.
Any questions? No questions?
No.
Okay, we're in committee.
Through you, Madam Chair, there are a lot of porches in this immediate area, so what's being proposed is totally in keeping with the character. So I would move approval of the application as it meets the four tests.
Yeah, all in favor? Applications approved.
Thank you.
Number 24, 467 Brock Avenue. Committee has before it copy of the plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, and correspondence from the applicant together with a letter confirming survey accuracy. Your name and address for the record, sir, please.
Good morning, Member Chair. My name is HULTON. I'm co-owner of 467 Avenue. And for the minor variance for the building a new garage at the backyard.
Panel members, do you have any questions or do you need a presentation? No questions, no presentation. Thank you, sir. We're in committee.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to move approval of this very minor application if we need to do four tests in keeping with the neighborhood context.
I will second.
All in favor? Your application's approved.
Thank you very much.
Number 25, 30 Leeds Street. Committee has before it copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations. And may we have your name and address for the record, please?
Good morning. My name is Marian Bojankevich. I'm agent for 30 Leeds Street.
Thank you. Committee members, do you need a presentation or just questions?
No, through you.
Any questions?
No. Are you ready?
Yep.
Through you, Madam Chair, there are a lot of trees that on that side that will hide any kind of an addition, but in the context of the site itself, I think that this meets the four tests, and I would move approval of the application.
Madam Chairman, I noticed as well that the location of the addition is it's internal to the actual existing building and really won't have any impact on the neighborhood. I'm pleased to second the motion.
Okay, all in favor? Your application's approved.
Thank you very much.
Item number 26. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. 42. How do you pronounce Fermanagh Avenue. I apologize for my mispronunciation. Committee has before it copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, correspondence from the assistant planner, community planning, city planning, Toronto and East York District, 6 form letters in support signed by the owners or occupants of 36, 37, 38, 40, 44, and 46. And your name and address just for the record, please.
Ida Evangelista, agent for the owners of 42 Fermanagh.
Okay. Panel members, any questions?
No.
No questions?
Madam
Okay.
Chairman, this is an extremely minor variance application, clearly meets the four tests, and to my view, doesn't have any impact on adjacent neighbors. I'm pleased to move approval.
And I'll just note that both adjacent neighbors are in support, and I'll second the motion.
Okay, so all in favor? Your application's approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So item number 1, are they back in the room? 505 Russell Hill Road.
Good morning, Madam Chair and
Opposition.
committee members.
Sorry, just a moment, please. Is the opposition still here?
Yeah.
Okay, could you please sit?
He can't.
Oh, okay. Okay. Are you going to speak, sir? Okay, because we were going to try to make arrangements for if you need to speak. So if you need, do you want to stay there or do you want to roll up here? Whichever you'd prefer. Whatever's easier for you. Yeah, okay, but I don't want to make him do more than is necessary. So do you want to sit down then, ma'am? Okay. So for this item, the committee has before a copy of plan of survey, site plans, floor plans, and elevations, previous decisions of the committee affecting the subject property, and a staff report from the acting supervisor, tree protection and plan review, urban forestry. Now, have you had a chance to have a discussion?
Yes, we discussed. Actually, I visited the neighbor twice.
Are you still have?
They still have something to be discussed here.
There's still issues of concern?
Yeah.
So could you do a presentation, please, sir? Your name and address for the record.
Yeah, my name is Shen Shuzhang, architect, agent of the owner,
Okay.
who is behind me. And actually, I do not do much presentation unless you have questions.
Well,
and,
there's opposition. We'd like to have your presentation.
Okay. Yeah, that is a proposed single-family house at 505 Russell Hill Road. The project lot and a couple of projects surrounding are irregular. So for us, we proposed a single-family house with a couple of variants. The first one is the building height. The bylaw permits 11-meter height. We proposed 11.5 meters. And then the building length, the bylaw permitted 17 meters. We proposed 32.58 meters. So that is because of the irregulation shape, the calculation of the way, and plus the underground swimming pool. So that is a kind of different interpretation by different zoning examiner. Our zoning examiner said she's not sure if the swimming pool in underground will be calculated as the building length, with better to include it. Without that underground swimming pool, actually the building length will be 20.62 in the way we measured.
So the ground level is 20.62?
Yeah.
The pool is 32.58?
Yes, the swimming pool is complete underground. In other projects, we don't count it for building length and the coverage, but this one, she said you'd better to have the variance to make sure next the examiner will agree with that when we apply for building permit. And the similar thing is the building depth. The bylaw permits 90 meters. We proposed 27.03 meters. Actually, again, the building underground, above grade part has a building depth 17.37 meters. So for this both one, our neighbor does not have any concerns. And for number 4, the house, the building density, we increased the SFI from 0.35 to 0.65. So that is quite common in that area. So the staff and our neighbor does not have that issue either. And the number 5, variance number 5, the required side yard setback is 1.5 meters, and our side yard setback in the smallest one part is 1.22 meters, and actually in other part that is 1.8 meters. The average actually more than that.
Clarify, in the zoning examiner's evaluation of your project, is the side lot line, and therefore the side lot setback, is it deemed to be the south property line? Because you're at a corner lot, and you've
yes,
4 sides, but two are bounded.
Right.
2 aren't. So
the side yard facing the
facing the
south, yes.
On Russell Hill Road.
Russell Hill, that is the side yard, yes.
Okay, and is that where these people are from? Are they just?
Yeah, that's from his property line.
My questions have to do with your south elevation, so okay, thanks.
Yeah, I will discuss with that. once I went through. And the driveway width, we increased from the 6.0 meters to 6.0 meters permitted by the zoning bylaw. We proposed the 6.45 meters, and that is actually the existing driveway's width. And next to variance number 7 and 8 is dealing with the porch in the front yard. The number 7, the bylaw allows encroachment to the front yard 2.5 meters. We proposed 3 meters. And in the stair width, the bylaw permits 2.0 meters. We proposed 3 meters. That is allowed by the zoning, the building code. And then the last one is for old bylaw, the only remaining requirement of the old bylaw. The building height actually seems like the new bylaw. The 11 meters is permitted, and 11.5 meters is proposed building height.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a very simple question. Why could you not comply with the side yard setback? Notwithstanding it's a difficult site, or unique site, I don't know if it's difficult.
Yeah,
it's a unique site where front isn't normal to the front and so forth. But why could you not comply with the side yard setback?
Because that
rather large building adjacent to your neighbor.
Yeah. Because the building is not parallel to the side yard.
If you're going to refer to it, can you put it on the overhead? If you're going to refer to it, it's right there in front of you. Yeah.
Can't see it.
Can't see it. It's okay.
Mainly because the property line is not parallel to the building. So the 1.22 meters only this part. So the larger part here is 1.8 meters.
But could the front of the building not be redesigned to not be that close to the property line? It doesn't, you're not like on a very tight urban site where you don't have an inch to spare. It would appear, to me anyway, it would appear that complying with the bylaw in this case would not be difficult. Disco plans. Pardon? Which means that building part. This just, I can't see on a property this big where you can't comply.
Shift it slightly.
Even adjust the design at the front, it's a huge building. It's okay. I don't want to delay the hearing. I just was giving an opportunity to ask if there isn't something that can be done to comply with the bylaw. It doesn't seem to me that you need this variance.
What I can explain is that the building and the property line is not parallel. So the smallest part is 1.22,
yes,
and the average is more than 1.5.
So, but the question is, we understand that point. The question is on the lot, a lot of this size.
Yeah.
Why can you not comply with this side yard?
So because we
Amendments to the
Yeah.
building itself.
Yeah, I try to explain. Because we try to comply with the setbacks from the both streets, and then the building have not much space to locate.
Can you not shrink part the building by 0.78 on that portion that where it gets closer?
You know, I just briefly asked my client, he does not want to do that.
Okay.
And
The side yard setback, is it measured to the protrusion from the fireplace? Is that,
no,
that's the closest point?
no, the closest point of the main wall, of the side wall,
But the fireplace is,
is not included. That is exemption from the setback.
you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. If not, we can read.
So this was done on a waiver. Did you go through formal?
So we have zoning review report. We wrote the river because we changed something from the zoning review report.
Okay.
Yeah, all the definition, interpretation, we have a zoning review.
Okay, so you're satisfied that
The interpretation, yeah.
So
yeah.
in fact, your side yard setback that you're requesting
Yeah.
of 1.22 is to the wall itself. So in fact,
Yes.
the fireplace actually extends further into the side yard than that.
Maybe a little bit, yes.
Well, it does or it doesn't. It protrudes out from the wall.
Yes.
Okay.
But for the bylaw, they do not include fireplace for side yard setback calculation.
So from your,
And
sorry about that, continue, sorry.
yeah, sorry. When the fireplace size is smaller than a certain number, the chimney will not be calculated.
So what distance from that corner back until you meet the bylaw requirements? So how far back from that corner do you go until you get to what the bylaw requires as 1.5?
Yeah.
You said it's a small portion. Do you know how far back that is?
No, it's about half.
Half the distance?
At the half point, we have 1.5.
Okay.
And another half to the end is 1.8.
Okay.
So almost like average.
Half of the.
Yeah.
Half of the.
Like average setback is 1.5, something like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You can stand down for now. We're going to hear from the other parties, and then you'll have an opportunity to come back.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Hi.
Hi.
Can we have your name and address?
Iris Kozierczynski, 503 Russell Hill Road.
Could you just spell your last name, please?
Koczerginski.
Thank you. 503 Russell Hill?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so my opposition is to items 2, 3, and 5. I actually submitted some photographs, but I might have been too late for,
Yeah, we don't have anything.
can I don't know if that'll.
Show them on
can
the.
I-
Yeah.
This is a view directly from my window out showing a house that was built at 260 Forest Hill Road just a few years ago. And so we've been closed in from one side. And this is a view of, no. That's it. So this is the view that we currently have.
So that's your deck and the property beyond is this property?
The proposed property, yes. So essentially, if that house was to be constructed, that entire two-thirds of the photograph, two-thirds of the photograph from the left to the right would be blocked by a brick wall. So I understand that, it passed the tree requirements. There is a very mature tree, and I'm a little concerned about that. But there's also a lot of smaller, here, I could take this away. There's a lot of other smaller trees that we're going to lose, and my fear is that we're losing.
Your property or the applicant's property?
Both.
Both sides?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if this is just a small point that maybe, for some, put things in perspective. My property, this property, and the property that was just recently constructed at 260 Forest Hill Road used to be one property, and it was divided into 3 very small parts. 260 Forest Hill Road is a very large house. My driveway is bigger than their backyard. And now with the size of this house, if you exclude the city property, it's pretty much going to be all a concrete property. There's very little green space left. Also, I don't think that the plan that I got in the mail together with this letter properly shows the context of 260 Forest Hill Road. It shows the old house, not the new house.
This is what we have as well, so the old and then...
The old?
Well, this is just the streetscape map.
Right.
So it doesn't...
So the reality of the situation is that the 3 houses will converge, and there will be very little separation between the houses in terms of green space.
Does that show your house properly?
This one?
Does it? No, I know which one you are. Does it show your house properly?
It does.
Okay, and then the one you said on Forest, or on...
260 Forest Hill Road.
Recently been built?
It's a big chunk. In fact, my pen...
The proposal is to bring this house back, so you're concerned that they're all...
Yeah, but it's the length that for me is the length and then the setback on the side that is really an issue.
So is your length concerns based on the length at the first floor?
We're gonna have no sunlight in our backyard. I was trying to demonstrate that with my photograph, but it's probably not the best photograph to do that. But when we're on our deck, essentially we'd be losing our sunlight because we've lost it now from the back, and now they're proposing to put a wall up next to our deck. So
we heard the submission from the party that at the first floor or at grade level, the actual length of the house is going to be 20.62. Is that your comments based on that, or the 32.58 that they say represents the swimming pool underground? I just want to be clear.
no, the swimming pool's been there for many years.
They're putting the proposal, okay, so the agent for the applicant indicated to us that for variance number 2, where they say they're looking for a length of 32.58 meters.
That includes the swimming pool?
Which is in the basement.
Yep.
There's going to be an indoor swimming pool. They're proposing an indoor swimming pool.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is, from what we understand, we've heard, just so that we can understand the context of your concerns. So we understand from the submissions that were made by the agent that 32.58 is like underground, because the pool will extend below grade to that level. But at grade, so
that's my concern, obviously.
So
yeah.
at ground level, just let me finish my thought for a minute, that the depth visually for you will be at 20.62, so 3.62 meters beyond what's permitted under the bylaw from your visual impact perspective. So I just want to know whether or not the comments that you've made to us would be the same, are based on what it would be at 20.6 meters, or are you looking at your impact from the 32 meters, or both?
My concern is not about what's going on underground.
No, but you're saying your light and your visual.
Yes.
Okay, are you basing that observation, and maybe it wouldn't change, but you're basing it on you think that the property is going to be 32 meters?
No, as a matter of fact, the agent and the landowner and myself walked through the property. And they pointed to where the building would end.
It's based on your understanding of what they've told us today?
Yes.
The depth. Okay, that's, I'm just wanting to confirm.
Okay, not being an architect or a land developer.
I just want to make sure that we're hearing what the applicant said properly, and we're hearing what you've said properly. Okay? Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, so to date, we've agreed on a few minor adjustments. They promised that the air conditioner would be on the other side and no windows overlooking, because we have a hot tub in the backyard. We wanted our privacy. And also they agreed to a tall fence and
Sorry, no windows where?
on looking down into our backyard.
So, do you have the elevations that we have? I'm trying to figure out if we're talking about the south elevation or the east elevation.
Well, it's only the south that concerns me.
But there's only one window there, that's not going to... That's not the one you're talking about.
So it's the west.
Can I clarify one thing, because I don't think it's clear. The differences in your length are, this is one length, and then this is another length. The swimming pool's in here, right? So that's, what's this length?
20.62.
No, that length is 17.37.
No.
No, that's not.
No, it isn't. No, it has to be more than that.
Okay.
So,
He's saying the
So
depth.
the building length is not the length you show. The building length is parallel from this point to this point.
no, all I'm trying to figure out is how long that two-story wall is.
Yeah, that wall is 17.37.
No.
But the building length defined by the bylaw is measured in another way, which is 20.62 without the underground swimming pool. I know that's very confusing.
So you're saying the depth of the house is 17.37?
Yes.
Not the length. The length is 20.62
Yeah.
without the pool.
Yeah, the depth actually is the wall this gentleman showed, the length of the wall facing our neighbor.
And it's 17 feet.
So then why?
17 meters, 17.37.
So you're suggesting if you weren't putting that underground pool in, this house wouldn't need a variance for depth? Is that what you're saying?
No, yes.
It would need 0.36 still, right?
No.
Or no, it's 19, yeah.
So you're saying that without the pool, if you didn't have that underground pool, you would not have a depth variance? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we don't have depth, but we have length.
Yeah, you would still have length because it's 17 and you're saying at grade, I'm not talking about the pool now, I'm talking about the floor, 20.62, correct? But you're saying from a depth perspective, your house without, if you weren't putting a pool in, the structure would actually comply with the bylaw.
Yeah. The bylaw allows 19, we propose only 17.6.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
And above that,
Just a second, wait a minute, okay. Windows, sorry.
Windows because I like to answer it.
Well, you have an opportunity afterwards, but if you want a clarification to the panel would be fine. You had a question about the window pit?
Yeah, which elevation?
Which elevation?
No, I think.
Do you have the answer now?
I think
Okay.
I got it.
Thank you, sir.
Two-story wall is 17
Okay, so
meters
ma'am,
long.
okay, carry on. Okay, all right, we've interrupted quite a bit, so.
The concern I had, sir, I'm sorry. the window you talked about isn't on your side. It's not on the south. You're concerned about a window.
Well, he's agreed to, since I've looked at the plans.
Where is the window?
It was.
So, her house is somewhere around here.
This is what.
And in this part, there is no window. We agreed with her to reduce this window to here, so that the windows
Okay.
remaining were not.
Okay, so we're going to hear from you in
Is that
rebuttal.
your understanding?
Okay, I just try.
Is that your understanding?
My understanding is that we're going to have total privacy in our backyard
So you're not, you weren't expecting the windows to be decreased, you were expecting them to be removed?
to be removed.
Okay, that's different. Thank you.
Yeah.
So any other comments you'd like to make?
Well, I'm here today basically because I didn't want to lose my sunlight. I didn't want to be closed in my backyard, and I wanted to have my privacy, which I seem to have lost on the other end of the house. And then next, in 2 weeks, I will be back here because my neighbor on the other side of me has applied for a variance to go up and to have a balcony looking down at my backyard. So I know, but here I am, so.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Very much. Okay, sir, your opportunity to speak to the matters that have been raised.
Yeah. First of all, I talked to my client. He agreed to delete the side yard setback. So we will change that
So variance
design.
number 5.
Variance number 5 will be deleted. We will provide 1.5 meters in the minimum part. And secondly, I visited the neighbor's house twice and my neighbor once. We understand that their concerns. So, as I talked at the beginning, a couple of laws in this area is irregular. So that is a project lot, is our lot. So the black one is the existing buildings, and this is the neighbor. Actually, this one is newly built, and our neighbor's lot is like this. So if you look at only our lot, our buildings are quite well properly located on the building. Don't have any side yard or any yard setbacks. So front yard, side yard to the street, and side yard to the neighbor way behind. And the building length, the actual length from here to here, actually only 17.37. The bylaw allows 17 meter for building length and 19 meter for building depth. So actually it's quite well. And for the views, our neighbor concerned is not because of our project, because their lot is like this way. So if their lot was like a regular lot like this, then our building length will not impact to them. So now we increase here their view before when they set in their deck will be like this to here. The yellow one is the increased footprint of the new building. So even we set back more, they actually is quite lucky to have a view to the side of their rear yard. So even we reduce another 2 meters, the views will not increase very much. And with that yellow part, their view is still quite generous. And here all are trees, and our neighbor will have, our client will have more trees here. I don't think that's worse than a regular situation from our side. But I do understand that they have no views in this side. But practically, they did a great job. They have a lot of trees here. When you walk into the rear yard, really like a cottage style in the city center. So it's very, very nice. Good. So we don't like to coordinate with our neighbors, but what I'm trying to say is even we reduce the building length, we will not increase the view very much. And we don't increase that they have a quite good view to this open sky, to the street. So I don't think that concern is really. And another thing is our lot is lower than her lot. So our building actually looks lower than expected, lower than this neighbor. So that's what
I have one question for you. It's to try and clarify the difference in the length or the depth of the building from Forest Hill. The second and the third floor are 17.37 meters long. Is that correct? Ground floor and the floor above?
Yes.
Correct? And the underground, which includes the swimming pool, is 20, we're at 26.06 meters long. Is that correct?
Yes.
Where did the 32.58 come from?
That's the
This way. Yeah. It's measured this way from the center line of the street. That's why it's not against the wall.
So
that's why the length's different.
That's why it's so long.
So the 32 meters calculate from this corner and in this way to here, to the end of this corner. So that is the number.
And that's the underground.
From this point to here, from this corner to this corner.
See, where I'm going for this is I think the variance should be limited to a certain amount from ground floor and above.
Well, I think you could, okay, yeah,
You know
tied to
what I mean?
plants, oh yeah, oh God, yeah.
So if our lot is a regular lot like this, and then the calculation will be from.
All right.
Okay, I've got the answer. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions, committee members?
No.
I didn't know both of you were looking to speak. Yeah, you said you weren't going to speak.
It's been like almost 45 minutes.
Pardon?
And I'm not sure why, it says the maximum permitted depth of the detached house is 19 meters. The new two-story detached house
Okay.
have a depth of
Can I, okay. Okay, can we have, okay, okay, so just one moment, okay? Can we have your name, please? Okay, thank you. So you had said you weren't going to speak, so we continued on that. Okay, you continued on that basis. I'm just going to take an aside here before we carry on. So just in terms of explanation, as I tried to say when you were up before, is that the explanation provided by the applicant versus what the notice says, they suggested that some of this is for the underground pool versus the house. So what they're suggesting, or what they've given in evidence here and what the plans show from a measurement perspective, is that the actual house or the structure, the length is going to be 20.62. However, the variance is necessary. They're saying they still need the variance of 32.58 because of the underground pool and how the zoning department has measured that. The depth of the property, again, because of the underground pool, their submission is that's why they need the 27.03. But at ground, the depth of the house, and according to the measurements on the plan, is 17.37. So without the underground pool, the submissions have been, and we clarified this as part of the discussion here, is they wouldn't need a variance for depth if they weren't going to have the pool in the basement. So from a surface perspective, it's 20.62 for length and 17.37 for depth, according to the submissions we've heard today. So that from a clarification. Pardon? No, well, because, okay, I'm just saying, these are the variances that they need. The explanation of what the impact will be and where those variances are measured for and what the built form were asked for is what we've heard in evidence. And we've heard your submissions with respect to impact. We've heard their submissions with respect to their application. The committee will now consider all those things and make a decision, okay? Thank you. Okay, any other questions, panel members? Okay, we're in committee, discussion or motion?
Through you, Madam Chair, I mean, I've heard both sides, and I think that the applicant has certainly provided us with an explanation as to how the measurements were taken, and that it doesn't actually go along the wall, it goes to the corner of the house in line with sort of the center line of the street. I'd also like to add that in terms of the GFA, there was an approval in 2012 for 0.63, and in terms of the driveway width, there was a previous approval of 6.91 in 2011. So these requests are kind of in line with that. I visited the site, and as soon as you turn the corner in either direction, there are very large homes that are very similar, in fact, to what's being proposed here. And although I'm very sympathetic with the issues raised by the neighbor, I think in terms of the variances, with variance number 5 having been removed, which is the side yard setback to the owners of 503, I would be inclined to move approval of the application.
Would you be
and I would be prepared to tie it to the plans as submitted so that we don't see anything going above ground as it relates to the line. Is there something else I should add? The side, yeah, with the exception of the revision made on the setback.
Can I clarify one
Sure.
second? The base, it isn't clear, the grading isn't clear. And we keep talking about the mass of the building, and I go to the south elevation again. The mass that we're talking about is this portion here. And there's an extension out here with the deck on the top. I presume the swimming pool is, the portion of the basement the swimming pool is in is actually protruding above ground. Is that correct?
No, my understanding it's
Completely
underground. The whole thing is
So
underground.
the deck is not on top of it?
No, it's underground.
So the swimming pool is completely underground?
Complete, yeah.
So these stairs are internal, showing from the pool, they go to a different level in the house?
Yeah, within the house.
On that basis, I would agree with you tying it to plans and elevations. I think it should be the entire package.
Okay, so that's my motion then, as amended, with variance 5 removed. Tying it to plans with the, an elevation with the exception of this revision for the side yard.
I would second the motion. I think if we didn't tie it to plans, the decision would be subject to a lot of misunderstanding because of where measurements are taken. I believe that the largest implication is the one that these people have brought to us, which is the impact on the property immediately to the south. I think that the numbers tend to suggest that the impact is going to be greater, although there is going to be impact. The numbers suggest greater impact than actually might be the case if the property is developed in accordance with these plans. So on that basis, I'm prepared to support the motion.
Yeah, I would just add, I would agree that on the surface of the notice, it certainly, you know, without the explanation and without tying it to plans, it would certainly be something that one would question, but with the explanation that's been provided and tying to plans, that clarification would be apparent as to what the actual structure at ground would be. So, okay, so all in favor? Application as amended is approved, tied to the plans, okay?
Okay,
So that
should I provide the plans to the committee?
we
You have, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
You have to speak to staff.
Please.
Staff over here.
Thank you very much. Okay, so item number 9, 50 WOODYCREST Avenue. Are there parties here in opposition or of interest? If you could please sit to the left. Committee has before a copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, correspondence in opposition from 48 WOODYCREST Avenue, and a 5-signature petition in opposition, signed by the owners or occupants of 40, 44, 56 WOODYCREST, 71 Avenue, 110 Langford, and 110 Langford. And can we have your name?
Good morning, Madam Chair. It's Mario Silva. I'm the agent for 50 WOODYCREST Avenue.
Okay. So is there still matters of concern? Okay, so we'll have a presentation, please.
Okay, the proposed is a two-story rear addition to a single-family dwelling. We are asking for one minor variance, which is the GFA. We are allowed 0.69. We are asking for 0.86. There is only one variance in GFA being sought. The variance is to provide the current family a functional living space to meet today's current lifestyle. You will note that there is no increase in the number of bedrooms. This is a dense lot area. You will note that north and south neighbors have additions beyond our current rear wall. 52 WOODYCREST north side, C of A gave approval for 83% density on March 7, 2012. 71 WOODYCREST C of A gave approval for 80% density on May 1st, 2019. So in my opinion, the plans are appropriate and desirable. This is a minor variance, maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and is consistent with the character of the neighborhood.
To clarify, the properties on either side of you, although they have extensions at the back that are longer than, they extend further back than your home currently does, your proposal will provide for an extension that's longer than either of them, correct?
No, actually, the neighbor here can confirm that north side is going to be in line with ours.
Okay, that's not what your site plan shows.
That's correct, yes, but he has confirmed that.
He can clarify that one.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions at this time?
No.
Okay, so can we hear from whoever would like to speak, please? Could you come to the front podium, please, sir? Thank you very much. And can we have your name and address for the record, please?
Yeah, Fred Meko, 52 WOODYCREST Avenue.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So, yeah, my concern is, since I have the addition, it was approved 2012. Actually, I purchased the house 2013. My only concern is that I would like to, the 50, what we are discussing here, to have a second floor to have a setback 4 feet. Because comes on line with my house, my addition, the proposed addition here, but comes full 2-story. My concern is only this, that if the change is reflected on 4 feet setback for the second floor.
For what purpose?
For the light, because this, I'm on the north side, and the sun is, we need, especially in winter, comes very, very south.
So your addition is 1 story or 2 stories?
2 stories, but my addition has a setback 4 feet, the second floor from the first floor.
Could I clarify on the site plan that's before us today, does your addition go back within line?
No, that is wrong. I don't have my site plan here.
the addition, my addition comes here.
Okay, it's in line with,
With the new one.
okay.
Okay?
But your second floor is set
and
back.
my addition has a setback the second floor, 4 feet. I would like what the Mario is proposing here to have a setback for the second floor, because I would have much sun, would block the sun, especially in winter.
Okay. Could you come back to the microphone then, please, sir? Sorry. So is there anything else you'd like to?
No, only this.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir, may we hear from you? And if we can firstly have your name and address, please.
Okay. I'm Anton Freindorfer of 2 Woodburn Drive, Trenton, Ontario, and I'm representing Ursula and Hilda Jarina of 48 WOODYCREST Avenue. I have a letter from them, I suppose.
Okay. Here, you can just give it to me.
They're on the south side, right, of the property?
Is this just your authorization? Okay, they can go to staff. Sorry. I apologize. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I believe our objection is related to the increase of the GFA, or in that increasing it as they propose the full width of the current construction, given the location of the property line to the south is a couple inches off the property line. We have 5 windows that are in the niche. I don't know if I can put a drawing on the screen there for you. Sorry, it's fuzzy. We have so the basement window here, first floor and a second floor window here, and then a first floor and a second floor window located here in this niche. So currently they have relatively good access to light and views from those windows, essentially with this extension going basically right up against the property line for basically 19 feet. That takes away access to light and views. And so we disagree, or we're not happy with that the building wall basically takes up the view and to a large degree the access of light. So, and that it is for a full 2 stories. So especially the ground floor window on the east side in the niche is to the main dining room and living area from the back. So considering that that is basically at the bottom of a chasm, that will decrease the quality of living in the room and in a way the quality of the property, in our opinion. So we feel that that does do some sort of value damage of sorts, if one could say that, to our property. Would be to push back the south face of the wall. We were suggesting initially 3 feet, and even speaking of 2 feet outside, Mario found unacceptable. So I don't know what to say further on that.
Do you happen to know what the floor space index is of the house that you're representing?
I do not, no. No, I'm sorry, off the top of my head. So if it is to clarify, like, and it's all like not to scale, like if I were to draw on the plan. Right. I'm sorry, I do not know.
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Yes, of course.
Do you know what the floor space index is of your house as expanded? Do you know how big it is?
can answer that. He's at 0.83 and that was approved in 2012.
The one, the setback on the second floor is at 0.83?
Yes.
And what are you at currently?
We are currently at 0.59.
Okay, so any other questions of the parties in opposition? Okay, so you can come and do, opportunity to do your rebuttal, so do you want to come forward then? And speak to the issues that have been raised? Please, thank you.
Okay, speaking on density, number 83 did get approval in 2012 for 0.83, and I do have a copy of the decision.
Okay.
If anyone wants to look at.
Please. Thank you. Okay. So continue. Anything else you want to say?
Yes, I can address
Issues that have been raised?
I can address the issues that our neighbor on the south pointed out. As far as the windows are concerned, they are already existing on the portion where the existing house is. So in terms of daylight, that's already there. That's nothing new. Our addition is actually beyond those windows that they're referring to, which are indented. I just want to point out that we have no side yard variances for this, so we comply with zoning in terms of building length and side yard setbacks. Our only issue here is FSI.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, panel members? Okay, thank you. In committee, discussion or motion?
Okay. I'll start. Okay. Based on my research, there are a number of additions in this neighborhood. There are some that are longer. They vary in size. I mean, we have one variance before us. In terms of FSI, it's not out of keeping with what's in the neighborhood. So I would be inclined to approve the variance. So I don't know if my colleague has any other comments, but.
It's a narrow lot, and I think the impact of the proposed addition on the property to the south is regrettable in terms of the view and sunlight and so forth. I would note that those windows are set back from the south property line, so there is some light penetration. I am persuaded by the fact that the adjacent property has a floor space index of, if I told, 0.83, and I would suspect that the other side is probably well beyond the 0.69. So on that basis, notwithstanding the regrettability of the sight lines from the existing windows, I'm prepared to support the motion for approval.
All in favor? The application's approved.
Thank you.
Item number 10, 31 Allen Avenue. Committee has before it copy plan of survey, site plan, floor plans and elevations, covering letter from the owner, together with correspondence and support, or no opposition, 22 photographs of similar properties in the surrounding area, and various decisions of the Committee of Adjustment affecting properties in the surrounding area, correspondence and support from 37 Allen Avenue, and correspondence and interest or concern from 33 Allen Avenue. Could we please have your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, good morning. My name is Jared Ho, and I'm the homeowner at 31 Allen Ave.
Okay, thank you. And after your discussions, does there remain issues that are of concern? Okay, so can we have a presentation, please, sir?
Yes, so again, Jared Ho. I own the property at 31 Allen Ave with my fiance, Maddie Dalzell. Thank you for being here today. So we're seeking a minor variance to bylaw 569, 2013, which is in relation to the floor space index. We are zoned currently for a density of 1 times the area of the lot, which is approximately 135 meters squared. And are requesting approval to have a floor space index of 1.27, which would be approximately 171 meters squared. The purpose of the application is to construct a 3rd story on an existing 2-story semi-detached dwelling with a rear balcony. Again, only one variance in question today regarding the floor space index. In educating myself on this process, I've come to understand that there's a very commonly requested variance. We're in a very dense neighborhood. I was able to locate 47 approved minor variances for the very same bylaw in our proposal within a 500-meter radius of our said property. 27 of those variances that were approved were greater than our request of 1.27, and we have submitted to the committee the 6 that we felt were the most relevant. 5 of those which are actually on our street of Allen Ave, 5, 7, 27, 29, as well as 18. And additionally, there was another one on Bolton Ave, which is perpendicular to Allen Ave, which was the most recently approved variance of 1.5 FSI, which was just on May 1st of 2019. So along with that, we also submitted pictures to the committee of many properties in the area, with similar 3rd-story additions, including and not limited to, again, previously named properties of 5 and 7 Allen Ave, 27 and 29 Allen Ave, our attached neighbor at 33 Allen Ave, 15 First Ave, and 27 and 29 Sword Street. And again, a letter of support from 37 Allen Avenue. I also have a new one from 5 Allen Avenue as well, that they are in support of this variance application. And again, with the previously mentioned points, I do feel that our proposal is satisfactory for the 4 tests of the committee. It's a minor variance in nature. It's desirable for the neighborhood, maintaining the general intent and purpose of the bylaw, as well as the official plan.
I just have a question.
Yep.
In terms of your proposal, does it more or less mirror your neighbor?
So which I think my neighbor's going to speak to, the issue in question is the rear terminating wall of our addition would extend beyond where theirs currently terminates.
About how much?
So 5 feet 1 inch to be exact.
Okay.
So we've proposed a roof deck with a depth of 3 feet 10 inches. The current neighboring property has a depth of 8 feet 11 inches, which we've.
Yeah.
Could you clarify your side elevations? You have 2 drawings that are referred to as the proposed side elevation, but it's a semi. So is one of these drawings, does it include the adjacent home?
Yes, so let me just find that.
The one I'm not clear on is 15 of 17.
Great, let me find that. Okay.
What am I looking at in 15? Is this?
So 15, I believe, is looking from
All the brickwork is the neighbor.
Yes.
And the horizontal line and the shakes at the back, they're the extension, your extension beyond that.
Correct.
And the shakes are on the neighbor's house, these shingles.
Correct.
So the difference then is that horizontal lined area, and you extend out that much further than they do on the 2nd or the 3rd floor.
That is correct.
And the proposed addition has no implications to the front elevation. The front elevation remains.
No, it does not.
Unaltered.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we hear from you, sir, please? Firstly, your name and address, please.
Sure. My name is Jason Smyrnis. I'm the property owner at 33 Allen Avenue, which is the attached property immediately adjacent to the applicant. So we did prepare, we obtained the drawings on June 10th by downloading them from the committee. We did meet with the property owners in February to discuss their plans. We did have an agreement that the back wall of the third floor, I have a letter to that extent I can give you, that they would be aligning them. So that was the early discussions when there was a request for a party wall agreement and an administrative building permit to work on our party wall. Subsequent to that, we received the drawings and found that the addition extends beyond our third floor. Now, I should say that the issue of density is not one that we're afraid of or that we're ultimately concerned with. We're urbanists. We accept that the street is tight. It's just that we are an attached property, and the adjacent properties, 27, 25, that the applicant mentioned, we did not oppose. They are different, and we have no issue with that. It's just that it's an immediate sharing of our party wall. So similar to the arguments, it's view, it's access, and as well, it's going to create quite an unpleasant condition where snow and garbage will collect in the back of the house. That's what's there. There's also a number of items that are contradictory in the documents, which I suspect you've probably reviewed as well. And that, in our letter, items 1 to 9, I think require clarification in terms of the application so the intent is clear. Some of this suggests that there could be potential for interpretation. So I don't think we need to go through those. I'm hoping you have reviewed them and have found the inconsistencies in the documents, and hopefully there's a appropriate process for these to be clarified prior to the committee providing their judgment. So in summary, our concern is ultimately with the 5'1" extension, and as I note on the application, why could you not comply to the zoning bylaw? Because it's a small lot and we need more living space was the justification. The applicant decided to purchase a 127-year-old semi-detached home on a 19-foot lot, has created 5 bathrooms, 2 laundry rooms, a 70-square-foot walk-in closet, and pushed out as a result. So although the numbers suggest that the application is minor, it's our position that some compromise could be met to align the back walls of the house and still achieve what they need to achieve within the house for living space.
Do you have a 3rd-story balcony at the back of your house?
We do, correct. And sorry.
I'll ask the applicant, but the side elevation of your house and the back elevation of your house don't match. So is there a railing, or do you have a...
We have a railing. Drawing 15 is not accurate at all, actually. There is no brick at the 3rd story. It's wood siding. Where they're showing the shakes is a guardrail.
Okay, that would make sense then. So if there was a guardrail there, then the guardrail from the proposed 3rd floor deck will overlook your deck.
Correct. When we're standing on the deck, we would look right opposite each other.
Okay.
So when we...
And if the 3rd floor extension was not as long, you'd have more of the decks adjacent to one another.
Correct. They'd align, and our view of the city, our access to light would be maintained. For the sake of 5 feet, I feel that it's not an unreasonable request as a property owner who shares a wall, who's 3.5 inches from the neighbor. It's like if there was 3 feet between us, if this was a detached home, I wouldn't be standing here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? We'll hear back from you to the issues raised, please.
Before you start, I have a question.
Absolutely.
As well, on your 13 of 17 drawing, based on what we've just heard, you have a dotted line down the side of your, or the limit of your deck. But in fact, that's a straight line because in fact your siding extends out further than the siding of your neighbor. So that should be a solid line, not dotted line. And the horizontal shown siding, in fact, is, as we've just indicated, it's a picket fence railing. Is that correct? So that drawing's not correct?
That looks to be the case, yeah. I mean, let me review here just quickly because I do have a picture, so just make sure.
That would seem to agree.
I think so, yeah. So I just want to be sure. I don't know his property as well as he does, so. Okay, so could I actually show you the picture just to maybe clarify the confusion?
Look on the overhead.
Other way around?
Yeah.
How's that? Other way, further?
So this is the view from standing in our backyard at 31 Allen Ave, looking up. So that is what we are, able to see from our sight line. So that is the neighbor's cedar shake. Yeah. So,
I also have a question. I'm just looking at your submissions here.
Yep.
29 and 27.
Okay.
They're uniform, they look the same. Is there any reason why you're not going the same depth to make it kind of more uniform and better all around?
Yeah, and to speak to Jason's point just quickly, again, buying the house and looking up at a roof deck, we weren't aware of the specific dimensions, so that was our intention at the beginning. And as we got up there and got the opportunity to measure and understand that the roof deck was in fact about 9 feet deep, 12 feet wide, that's a significant amount of living space to give up on the interior part of the house. And so we felt that leveraging that space to the interior of the house just made more sense for the design of the house. And I think the term I heard earlier was the modern living standards of today in a dense neighborhood. That's what led to the plans being the way they are.
If you were to scale it back and make the wall even with your neighbors, how much floor space would you end up losing or having? Do you know what your
I do, yeah. So
side would be?
I do have those numbers here. So removal, to your point, lining up the back walls,
Yep.
we would lose about 6.9 square meters or 74 square feet of living space, which would, that's again a significant amount of space in a small lot.
Would you still need a variance?
Yes, we would. Yeah. Let's call it the 0.27 of the variance is all contained on the third floor. So even reducing that would still bring us to a variance of about 1.22.
1.22. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so we're in committee, discussion or motion.
Do you have any idea what the floor space index is of the adjacent property, the other half of the semi?
I do not. I don't know.
It would match if you had the number for.
1.22.
So let's, okay.
We in committee or?
Yes, we're in committee. So discussion, motion?
Through you, Madam Chair, I'm somewhat conflicted on this one because it is a semi and, I mean, wherever possible, it's always better to keep things uniform if there are additions involved. I would have preferred to have seen the walls line up. In terms of additions themselves, and, you know, there appear to be other homes that have additions that are quite similar. So, I'll see if, I don't know, so I'll see if my colleague has anything to add to my comments. But in terms of the variance itself, I'm not sure that it's really out of character, so I guess I would be leaning toward approval.
I'm a bit conflicted as well on this one. I do think that I don't think the variance is out of line in terms of the size. I think it would be preferable if both halves matched. I would be more insistent were this implicating a change to the front elevation, which I think can destroy a whole entire streetscape. That is not the case here. I think that the problem that might be encountered by extending the third floor out of this proposal to on the neighbor is, in my view, minor. The implications to cutting the third floor back to be in line, based on what's before us, are major. We're not here to redesign the third floor, but clearly you couldn't just take that space off the back of the third floor. There just wouldn't be enough space to do what is proposed on the third floor. I think that, although not ideal, I think it's a reasonable proposal, and I'm leaning towards approval as well.
So through you, Madam Chair, I would move approval of the application, as I feel it meets the four tests that the committee looks at and does fit within the character of the neighborhood.
Okay, all in favor? The application is approved.
Thank you, committee.
That's all. Yeah, we are adjourned at 11:31.